What's going on, sci-fi fans? My name is Ben and welcome back to The Bench for a brand new episode and season here on Sci-Fi Wednesdays. We're going to be jumping in today, guys, on a new model kit, something from a totally different sci-fi fandom, and I can't wait to jump in and check it out. So usually I build stuff from Star Wars or Star Trek, maybe some other oddball sci-fi series, but I've never built anything from Alien, and that's one of my all-time favorite sci-fi movies. But unfortunately, there's just not a lot out there in the world for the Alien franchise. There's not a lot of model kits. There was a company that put out some kits way back in the day called Halcyon, and they're not the greatest model kits and they're stupid expensive online. So luckily 3D printing has come in clutch here, and I've been able to secure a 3D print from the very first movie, Alien. I'm going to try to avoid some spoilers, but if you haven't seen it by now, it came out in 1979, so I think they're re-releasing it at the end of this month in select theaters. Highly recommend you go check it out. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at the kit. This is a 3D printed model, and I actually picked this up off of Etsy from the same gentleman who printed my Architon's light cruiser I built a while back. So I know the work is going to be pretty meticulous, and I can already tell it's got great detail, awesome looking lines. This is a really cool looking sci-fi ship, honestly. And if you've seen the movie, you know exactly how this is used. So again, won't spoil it for you, but it's got a really pivotal role in the film. So I am really excited to go ahead and finally build up this awesome looking little ship. This is actually called the Narcissus. It is the escape shuttle or lifeboat. So we're going to go ahead and build this up and we're going to have some fun with it. I can't wait to put it together. Getting you a real quick zoom in here, you can check out some of the detail. It is of course 3D printed, so we have a few layer lines here and there we might have to contend with, but overall it's got some great surface detail, fine recessed panel lines. We've got our front thrusters right here. The nose is a little bit off shape, I've noticed, but it's not too bad. It's pretty close. The underside, we also have some more detail, but we are missing a little section right here, right behind the thrusters. We might need to add in some parts, or maybe we won't worry about it. I don't know how that works with 3D printing. We'll just see what we can do. Otherwise though, great looking parts, a little bit of cleanup here and there, but honestly, nothing too bad. Now on the rear of the ship, we have more of the same. We've got some very nice looking raised details. We do have our entry hatch right here in the very center. We've got our 4 main engines, as well as some details here on the quarter panels. Those are a little bit on the light side, and they're not necessarily as accurate to the filming as I would have liked, but you know, honestly, they still give you the impression, even if they are a little bit on the soft side. I'm not too worried about it. I think it's going to paint up just fine. And again, great looking details. I think it's really going to take paint and washes well. So that is the kit we're going to be building. And I'm actually very excited to go ahead and jump in on it, but you know me, I can't just stop at that. I want to go ahead and see if I can't put some lights in some of these engines. Now I do have my 4 main drive engines, and that would be probably fairly easy to light, but we do have also 2 front thrusters, and I need to figure out if I want to go ahead and light those or leave them be. Either way, we'd have to open up the back panel, dig in there, cut out all the spare filament, clean out everything we can, drill through the different engines or thrusters, and then we can probably install some LED lights in there so that you can flip on a switch and they'll glow. The front thrusters, I'm not so sure I want to light those because they don't really activate unless they're launching backwards off of the ship, as you see in the movie. So I don't really know if I want to do that. I'm going to leave that on the back burner for now, and we're going to focus on the rear of the ship, where I want to go ahead and open up this back side here, dig around in there, clean out some of that filament, and maybe drill out the openings for the engines. So let's go ahead and jump into a time lapse. Let's open up the rear of the Narcissus and see what we got going on in there. Alright guys, so we are back and we have done a little bit of work here. Actually, that was not as hard as the Architons was. This was actually a lot easier. But as you can see, we've got our 4 main engines hollowed out. We've removed a lot of our filament, and we've got these 5mm LEDs, which we can very easily just drop right into place. The opening is about 5mm, so they fit. There's only one that doesn't necessarily stay in there, but most of them friction fit right up inside. So that should be perfect. Little hot glue, we're good to go. You can see with all 4 of those LEDs in there, it's not going to be that difficult to wire them up. There's enough room in there that we can easily throw some wires in there and it won't have any issues. A little bit of hot glue, the lights will stay put, they won't go anywhere. And I think, yeah, we're good to go. This time around, I did end up using not only pliers, scissors, X-Acto knife, but I used an old soldering iron to melt some of the filament, and that worked out really, really well. I think my next major hurdle is going to figure out if I want to go ahead and open up the front thrusters. I do have these 3mm LEDs, which would probably fit in there nicely. But again, you don't really see those activated unless it's reversing and launching. And in this case, it's not. It's on its way back to Earth. So I don't think it'd be using its front thrusters. But even so, that is a possibility. So let me know if you guys wanted me to light those up, because if you do, I can probably do those pretty easily. Just have to figure out what resistors to use, how to go ahead and get this thing lit up, and then maybe next episode, we can go ahead and install the LEDs. So yeah, should be pretty cool. But that is it for us today, guys. This is going to be a really fun project, more than likely very quick to build because honestly, only 2 parts, so shouldn't be that difficult to do. But we do have to go ahead and wire it up, add in some lights, and then work on our base when I've got a couple of ideas for that. So we'll see what we can come up with. But thank you so much for joining us here. Until our next episode, you guys know the drill. Go out there, get yourself some bench time, have some fun, build something cool, and we'll see you back here on the next episode of Ben Builds Sci-Fi Wednesdays for more adventures here with the Narcissus. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you soon.